This segment is being brought to you by Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, welcome back, everyone. We appreciate you watching Southern Woods and Waters. I have with me two great guys, and I'm going to start off with Brad just a little bit. Brad's been over there kind of being quiet and all this. And Brad, I'm going to put you on the spot, brother.
Go ahead.
You're also you're with Davidson County, and you're also a boating officer too, along with being a game warden and all this. There is a lot of area around like Old Hickory Lake and a Cumberland River system where you can hunt, but a lot of guys are using a boat to get there. Now, can you explain to us a little bit of why you got to be careful if you're going to use a boat to hunt with, even in all of it?
Yeah, typically, I've been up in Davidson County for 9 years now. I started as a wildlife officer and then went to boating, but during the winter time, you know, there's not a lot of recreational boat traffic, obviously because of the weather and the temperatures, but they get a lot of waterfowl hunters around Priest Lake, even on the Cumberland River, even the Cheatham where they have draw blinds down there. But even with that being said, if you're on public waters, you know, most guys, they're thinking about their shotgun and their decoys and their dogs, but they just still need to remember they're a boater first and then a duck hunter second, you know, especially out on the river, because water temps are a lot cooler. I don't think we've had any accidents in a good while, but just remind people to, you know, keep your safety equipment on board as well. If you're smaller boats, typically I see a lot of boats that are overloaded that really kind of get on a unsafe realm, but you know, your life jackets, you know, throw cushion, and like I said, just when I check people coming off the river and stuff, I just kind of put that in the back of their mind.
Oh yeah, so. You need to. What about now? We've heard. Now I remember, what was it, a couple of years ago? Some guys got caught turkey hunting from a boat. They were going down the river and shooting them out of the trees. You remember that? They had two boys and two
I think it was in the southern part of the state, District 22 probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about that, Brad, about that's not legal? You can't do that.
No, I mean, a lot of people think, you know, by boat you can access a lot of area, but with regards to that, when you're shooting from a boat, you know, you're shooting onto private property. And like I said, you know, if you down an animal or the actual retrieval of it, you need to have permission there first. If it's not public, you know, management area that is set up for that. Yeah, you can kind of run into situations like that, especially if we worked some cases before at Montgomery County on the Red River, same instance, you know, just running up through there and shooting from a boat, but when it comes to getting out of the boat, that's when you run into, you know,
getting on somebody else's property.
Getting on somebody else's property, trespassing. You're exactly right.
And a lot of people believe that the Corps of Engineer owns everything on the side of the bank up so far. That's not true. So they need to know if it's private land or public land before they go take a boat and hunt it.
Yes. The Corps does a really good job about putting boundary markers up when it's Corps property. Yeah. And they're pretty good about every 50 to 100 feet there's a boundary marker there. So it's not hard to know if you're on Corps property. If you're not seeing that stuff, you're on private property, somebody's land, and you need to have permission. That's a great tip right there from Brad. And now you cover Davidson County. How can the public help, Brad? How can the public help? I mean, I know you get calls, you know, old Joe's out here just shooting up the neighborhood, but you know what I'm saying? What can people be looking for? I know headlights at night, we still have that problem. We still have poaching at night.
Occasionally.
And it's sad, but we have some of the best deer in the state are here in Davidson County.
Yeah, well, when it comes to that, I mean, I work Davidson County. It's a broader spectrum, but I mean, just the other week, me and another officer made 2 deer cases. Shooting from the road.
Already this year?
Already this year.
Already?
Trespassing issue, somebody seen them, heard the shots, and took care of that. But, you know, it's random. Typically, you don't have it this year because, you know, most people are, you know, bucks, but these were just 2 does they decided to shoot. So,
and I'm going to go on the record myself, in the public, in public view, and say, you know, we've got programs out there. If you shot deer to eat, you can alleviate that. We've got Hunters for the Hungry program, and you can contact those folks, and they will supply you
down there at Flowers.
That's right, Mike at Flowers and all that. They will supply you with meat if you're hungry. Come on, guys and gals. It's an ego thing if you're out there shooting them at night. You have to prove to somebody that you can kill a deer. And headlight is just, that's not fair. I mean, I don't want you to freeze to death, but get out there in a tree like I do. I have to do, and let's do it right, you know. And then you got bragging rights, I believe. Not shooting them under a light, though, or in somebody else's field or anything like that. But in the case of somebody being hungry, we've got other avenues that they can go down to get to feed a family.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think I know of a deer hunter one that's ever turned anybody down as far as.
If somebody comes to a hunter and says, "I'd like for you to get me a deer," we've got so many opportunities to harvest doe here. It's just amazing.
We can hit 122 where you and I live.
In Unit L, you can take so many. If a family came to a hunter and said, "We need some deer meat," they should be able to get them some deer meat. Yeah,
and legally,
easily,
easy to do, do. Don't have to have bait, don't have to do anything. Just easily done. I promise you. We got some callers. Let's see who we have. We have Steve. Steve, how can we help you tonight?
Hey, Hugh, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I have a couple of questions here. Number one, have you heard what the water temperature is on Old Hickory for crappie? Have they come up yet, or is it on deep?
Brad, have you heard anything on Old Hickory as far as crappie?
No, I'm still in the recreational world right now.
Well, now, I have heard a little bit. They're in 25 to 12. There's a raw range. The smaller crappie are in the 12. The bigger ones are in the 25-foot range, and the water temp is in the lower 80s, is what I heard. So.
I heard some people catching crappie this week on Kentucky Lake in about 12 feet.
12 foot of water? Okay.
And 60s. And number two, I'm from Iowa. You deer hunt up there, and the deer up there are monstrous. And I'm curious why they look like dogs with antlers down there.
Yeah.
There's a good reason.
There's a good reason for that. What is that theory called when you go the further away from
rule, the further north, the bigger the body.
The further away from the equator, the bigger the body of the animal.
But a lot of people have to remember we have.
Is that because of the cold winters, or?
Yes.
But we have mostly a Texas strain here.
Like a bear or whatever.
Yeah. They got to pile it on. They got to get some Cracker Boy, Cracker Girl seasoning and pile it on right before deer season, before that winter time gets there. So Steve, we hope that helps you out, brother.
It does. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And we got Brandon. Brandon, how can we help you tonight?
Hey guys, I have a question. You guys were just talking about the legal and illegal activities with waterfowl hunting. I have a question. It pertains to the drawing. The Big Sandy drawing, personally, attended that for like the last 6 or 7 years or so. And I've noticed that there's a lot of blinds being purchased and not a lot done about it. I know this is an illegal activity. It doesn't happen as much as, say, at Dover or, Cheatham or Old Hickory necessarily. But there are many game wardens there, and blinds are just purchased like gangbusters every year, and nothing is done about it. I wonder why isn't something being done about it? That's my question, essentially.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hang up and let's hear what the.
I do know it is being worked and looked at. He is talking about Region 1, which is, we work in Region 2. We're on this end, like he said. It's not as I'm sure it happens at Cheatham and Old Hickory, but it's not something that we hear about a lot. Now we do hear about it in Region 1, and I do know they're working it. And then the agency's actively trying to pursue people that are selling it. It's a difficult situation to go into a crowd and know who's buying, who's selling.
Well, isn't it like ticket scalping? I mean, for a game, they go in there and they get the
It's
draw,
illegal to do it,
and then they put it up for somebody to bid on, or
it is illegal. All I can say to this caller is that it is being looked at and worked in different ways. So hopefully that situation will get taken care of in the near future.
Yeah.
I like that. I'll tell you what I do. And we have Wayne. Wayne, how can we help you tonight?
Yes, sir. I got a question about a dove field. I'm going to have a dove shoot Tuesday, But in my field, I've actually grown wheat in it last year, over the year, and I went in and bush hogged, and I've got a buffer zone between my disc strips, but I bush hogged last week, and now that wheat is coming up between in my buffer zones. Now, is it going to be legal for me to sow in my dirt wheat, and that's going to be okay?
It's each individual is separately different, and it would be one of those things where, as long as he's sowing his wheat in a newly prepared field and not overcasting it into the other parts.
What he's saying though is he's got a buffer zone, Dale, and he's probably got. Let me hang up so we can talk to you, but. I think what he's talking about is he's got a buffer zone. You remember how they used to tell us to plant fields but leave that outside 20 foot? I think that's what he's talking about, a buffer zone. He's probably left the wheat standing, is what it sounds like to me. Now he wants to go back in there after he's bush hogged all that or dished it all up. He wants to plant again the inside. Is that an illegal?
The inside of the
inside of that field with that buffer zone. If he's a round circle, he's got a 20-foot buffer standing wheat.
I mean, I don't see why he would really need to, because he's going to have wheat already there.
Yeah.
That's on the lines of adding to the field, adding wheat to it.
Sweetening the pot.
It's along the lines of adding to it. Now, if he were to go prepare another field beside it and leave a buffer zone, that would be fine. You know, he's preparing another spot. It would be almost like bush hogging a cornfield and adding some corn to it.
Okay.
You know, sunflower field and
or sunflower field.
Back to
and it's not saying that he can't plant the wheat field, but adding wheat to it.
I think what he's trying to say is that is his normal farming practice. Would that fall under that? But sweetening the pot is not.
Yeah, it's adding more seeds to it.
So
now, if it's a fallow field, you're never have wheat grow into a fallow field sometimes. And I have to look at his field. I'm not there to see what the field looks like.
Right.
But if it's a fallow field and it's
what do you mean by fallow field?
Well, it's laid there, and seeds will lay dormant and start to grow, regerminate. So if it's a fallow field and he's bushed it and he's bush hogged it and he's prepared it to grow a crop on it, then that'd be fine to put to sow wheat on it to grow as a cover crop for that year or as a food plot.
Okay.
So it's like I say, each situation is different. We could get probably 30 different phone calls tonight.
Oh yeah.
But if a game warden came up to your field, the best thing to do is say, "This is how I prepared it." Just tell him straight up, "This is how I prepared it." And the game warden would look at the field, see how you prepared it, talk to you about it, look at what's out there, and then make a determination there on the field, because all of them are going to be different. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, great calls we had tonight. A lot of good information there. We hope that this has helped you, because Tuesday's the day. I mean, noontime that's the time to do. So let's take a break, and when we come back, Brent Price is in the house. We finally pulled him out of Alabama. He's up here with the good old boys now, showing us how to make crab cakes, and he's killing us. Our stomach's just roaring over here. Hurry back to more Southern Woods and Waters.